Hello, Meoni here. Welcome back to another video, this time talking about an upcoming event, this time the Moogle Treasure Trove for the hunt for aphorism tomes. This takes place from Tuesday, the 31st of March 2026, lasting until the release of 7.5. Patch 7.5 releases on April the 28th, as we know from the 91st letter from our producer live, so you've got just about a month to get these items. So on the 31st of March, what could we get? Well, first of all, if you've never done a Moogle Treasure Trove event before, effectively, this is how you participate. You go to any 3 starting city-states, so Limsa, Liminsa, Uldar, or of course that of New Gridania, and you talk to an itinerant Moogle there, and effectively you pick up the Mogpendium. If you've already done this before in previous Moogle events, you already have the Mogpendium, and all you need to do is log in on the 28th to actually continue this. The Mogpendium is effectively a list that you can find in the collections menu of your duty section on your UI, and this will give you a list of objectives to do that will reward you with tomes of aphorism. There are certain things you can do, such as standard, weekly, minimog, and ultimog, with standard objectives being repeatable, weekly objectives being reset every Tuesday, mini-mog challenges that are also completed once per week and reset every Tuesday that reward you for doing certain activities, as you can see here, from fishing, from doing triple triad, from doing certain fates, doing certain treasure maps, that kind of thing. And then we've got the Ultimog challenges, which give you the most amount of tomes per pop, but they are limited to once per event period. Once you've decided what you're going to do, you simply go and do the activity, then you open the menu to claim your rewards. It is simple as that. Then you return back to those itinerant Moogles, like we said, in any 3-city starting state, and you can exchange for those items. The items then, this time around, this is the thing you're probably more interested in. So the brand new item, the unique item this time around that you can only get from this event is the Miner's Earring, a piece of glamour for your earring slot that will cost you 100 tomes of aphorism. The earring, as you can see, the only image we have in the game that we can actually look at is on this picture here, and it is literally a mining pick with a lantern that seems to be glowing, which is quite unique as an earring. Whether or not this is an earring or earrings, I don't know if it's plural for both ears, but it is a unique piece of glamour, and I know for a fact a lot of people will be wanting to get that. But we also have some other items if that doesn't scratch your itch. So we have the Fat Cat Parasol. Previously, this was something that was from events such as sweepstakes and other competitions in real life. This is something that you can get for 50 tomes of aphorism. Moving beyond that, also on the 50 tier, we have the Emerald Guiba, as you can see there, for 50 tomes. We have the Ixion Clarion, so saving you time having to camp in the locks for a special fate. This time you can just exchange 50 tomes for that. We have also in the 50 tomes the Modern Aesthetic Styled for Hire, which is quite a unique hairstyle. We also have a emote for 50 tomes, the Fear and Loathing, which, if you didn't already know, Fear and Loathing gives you the /tremble emote, so that's to be scared, which is quite nice if you haven't already got that. Then we have an Orchestrion roll, which is Blood on the Wind, for 50. Then, moving on to our 30 category, we have the Iron Frog Ambler minion, which is quite cute. It kind of reminds me of a little froggy dustbin or something. Then we have some glamour for 30 in the form of each individual piece is the Craftsman's coverall top, the Craftsman's singlet, and the Craftsman's coverall bottoms, originally from the Ishgard restoration. Those will cost you 30 tomes each. They're pretty cool. The 2 tops are quite nice. I like the Craftsman's singlet. It definitely saves you some, trips to the Ishgard firmament to get those. And of course, the Craftsman's coverall bottoms are quite nice as well. So all 3 of those items, 30 each. Then also for 30, there's an MGP Platinum card, which gives you 50,000 MGP. This is the resort that most people land on when they realize that there's nothing else they want. And if you do get some tomes during the event and there's nothing you want out of all of this, this is probably your safe bet, is to bank on putting physical MGP in your pockets, which I probably will end up doing considering I'm capped on MGP. you know, in case they add something in the future. Bomb Palanquin Horn for 30 then. This is traditionally a Beast Tribe related mount, and that's 30 tomes. Then we have the Dire Wolf Whistle, also for 30 tomes. Then we have the Lunar Kamoi Fife for 30 tomes, which of course is originally from Tsukiyomi. Then we have the Euphonious Kamoi, which obviously is something that you could normally get from Suzaku for 30 tomes. Then, moving on to our 20-tome category, we've got the Amarotine Spire Chandelier. So this is a housing item, a fixture. Then we have the Ornamental Crystal Array housing item, also for 20. Then we have the Sweetfish Skewers, also a tabletop item for 20 tomes. Then we've got the outdoors item, the Raised Wooden Deck, which is really nice. That's also 20 tomes. We've got the Mummer's Shelf housing item for 20 tomes. And then we're moving on to the 15-tome category with our first minion, Wind Up Ixal here. Then we have, for 15 tomes, the Magic Bucket, which is something that ordinarily you would have to do quite a bit of fishing to get. And yeah, I guess that's trivialized now because you can just exchange 15 tomes. Also on the 15-tome section here, we have some glamour. This is the Heirloom set. So first of all, we've got the Heirloom Jacket of Fending, the Heirloom Jacket of Maiming, the Heirloom Jacket of Striking, the Heirloom Jacket of Scouting, the Heirloom Jacket of Aiming. All of those are 15, and then we've also got the Heirloom Tunic of Casting and Tunic of Healing as well, which personally I quite like. These have single die options for all of the heirloom pieces, each of those 15 tomes per top. And then we also have the Pageltharn dungeon-related gear from a previous expansion for 15 tomes. So this is just the chess pieces again. The Pageltharn Jacket of Fending, the Pageltharn Jacket of Maiming, the Pageltharn chess piece of Striking. Then we've got the one of Scouting. We've got Aiming, we've got Casting, and we've got Healing. All of those are 15 tomes each, and quite good options if you don't have them. Just bear in mind, any of the Pageltharn stuff is not dyeable, so you have to actually like the look of it. There's some good options there, similar to some of the previous tome events where we've had like the Warg sets and stuff. Quite nice if you haven't got them. But of course, you could save yourself tomes by going and simply doing the Pageltharn dungeon, even unsynced. But this is a great opportunity for people who are on, you know, free trial and who haven't reached those expansions yet, because yes, you will be able to obtain these items presumably, but you can actually glamour them even if you can't equip them, which is quite nice if you can actually access them. Then also for the 15 tome section, we've got the seemingly special Time Worn map, which is your level 78 player map with a guaranteed portal. We've got the ostensibly special Time Worn map, which is your level 80 full party 8 player map with a guaranteed portal. The potentially special, which is the 90 8-player maps with a guaranteed portal, also for 15. And then we've got a level 90 map for 8 players, guaranteed portal for 15 tomes. No level 100 map. They never seem to do that. So if you still need some achievements from doing certain treasure map dungeons, this could be a great option. Get some of those achievements whilst we've got some downtime in the game. Then we've got the riding maps, which increase our mounted speed. This is for Middle Lenosha, Lower, Eastern, Western, Upper, and Outer Lenosha. All of those will cost you 10 tomes per. Then we've got some triple triad cards. We've got the Namazu card. This will be for 10 tomes. We've got the Kojin card for 10 tomes. We've got the Mist Dragon card, which, you know, normally requires you to go do the burn for 7 tomes. The Tioman card for 7 tomes. And the Diamond Weapon card for 7 tomes. So that's your 7 tomes. Then we've got the Wind Up Succubus minion, which is quite cute, for 7 tomes. And then we've got an Orchestrion Roll Hopple's Dropple for Orchestrion Roll there for 7 tomes. And then we've got the Abigail Barding, which is pretty cool to make your Chocobo look like a maid, for 5 tomes. And then finally, 10 pack of the Magic Prism Job Mastery fireworks, effectively, which give you the little stars above your head for 1 tome for 10 of those. And as you can see, there are slight caveats for certain ones that they've put lists next to. You know, having certain completion of certain parts of the MSQ, effectively, or certain duties, especially with the, the diamond weapon card. You need to have completed the quest, duty in the sky with diamond, and things like that. So if these things don't show up that have asterisks next to them on the list, it's because you have not completed one of the activities at the bottom. But like I say, the Pagolthan chess pieces, normally you'd have to do Pagolthan dungeon to get them. And these things are level 80. But the thing is, you'd be able to access these as a level 1 on a free trial, effectively. So, if you can do activities to get 15 tomes, yes, you cannot equip these, but since patch 7.4 added the ability to cast glamour onto any item, regardless of level, you could pick them up and you could get this stuff on a low-level character or a free trial account, which is really, really exciting. And I'm sure some people will be running around, especially with the heirloom tunic of healing. It's beautiful. Really good options. Overall, not too bad. Definitely some top tips would be to get some of the chess pieces if you don't have access to the content. The magic bucket is going to save you some time in fishing if you haven't already got that minion. The mounts are always nice to see. Sadly, no newer mounts. They haven't added any lynxes or anything like that. No real Guiba movement other than Emerald. But yeah, saves you some time. But personally, very excited for the Miner's Earring. I think that's the only thing that I haven't got. But yeah, a lot of really good options if you haven't got anything. And this is the sort of activity they will do to fill the time between the next content. It is always the case. You can also expect that the latter end of this expansion will probably feature some return other activities as well, be that crossover events, things like that. I have my money set on there being another Yokai Watch event, personally, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know what you're most excited for, if you find the list to be meh, or yeah, I'm eagerly anticipating this. It's always a good excuse to go and do some duties. Much love, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.